What you guys doing? Painting what? Hey, make sure you wipe off the little excess going on right there. Wipe. There you go. What are you guys painting?
A cannon.
A cannon for what?
For a pirate ship.
For a pirate ship.
I
Yeah.
didn't know it was a cannon.
All right. You guys are doing a great job. You taking turns and sharing?
Yeah.
You guys like
No,
Halloween?
baby, no.
Hey, do you guys like Halloween?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So fun.
I know. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Halloween Hotel. And as you can tell from the intro, we're finally going to get this cannon video up. This one took me a long time to do, several videos, several days, lots of cure time, things like that. But we're finally getting it up now. The first picture I have right here is one of me doing the original bow of the pirate ship, and the bow was going to be focused towards having the two cannons in it. And that's just holes big enough to fit an 8-inch concrete tube, and the two holes are lined with pool noodles cut in half. This is the concrete tube right here. It's only one. I cut it in half, and again, it's 8 inches, and I made sure that the fog machine was going to be able to fit into it. Each one, actually, not into it, but into each one. And what I did then was I just took some great stuff, and I put 2 applications on each one. This is the second application. And I put it on pretty heavy, but I knew that I was going to have to pay the consequences by having to shave it down, as you can see here. I simply just took a razor blade and I made a handle out of several layers of black tape. I put a glove on and I just shaved it down and tried to make it the best contours I could to give it a cannon-like appearance. This took a really long time. And I didn't really want to sand it because it was just going to chunk off. So this was the best way to do it, in my opinion. I'm sure there are better ways, but this way worked, and it worked really well. So after I was done shaving everything down, I immediately took some plaster, or I guess the mud from Monster Mud, and I started just filling in the cracks, going around and filling in the areas that we're going to take in water. And the purpose of this was just to make it more smooth, give it more of an appearance of a cannon. But I also knew that as soon as I applied this that I was going to have to use dry lock. And I did buy a whole gallon of dry lock for some future projects as well. And it's not a bad $25 investment. I'm pretty happy with that investment. But what I'm doing here is I'm just putting it in, I'm smoothing out the cracks, and I'm going to let it dry. And I did. I let this dry for probably a good 2 days. After those 2 days, I had simply just taken a piece of 120 grit sandpaper, and I had went around the entire cannon, smoothed it out, tried to give it more detail, more shape that I'd wanted. And it wasn't a hard process. In all honesty, this is fast forwarded, but I would say less than 10 minutes, and I had this guy good to go and ready for dry lock. And here's me applying the dry lock. Nothing special to see here, that's why it's fast forwarded. But I will run my lips here for a minute and tell you that it is probably best advised to do a minimum of 2 coats, which is what I did on this, but maybe even using 3. If I could do it over again, I would have been patient one more day and put another coat on. Another big thing is, too, if you end up doing something like this with these concrete forms, you need to make sure you get the inside of the tube as well. I'm going to have my fog machine sitting in there, and if you don't get the insides, the water's going to eventually drip down. And it is pretty waterproof on the tops and all that, but if it does drip on the inside, it will ruin the cardboard from the inside out. So just keep that in mind when you're applying these coats. And here is a picture of the first cannon that I put in, and it's kind of weird to see this picture because there's so much going on the roof now that you're going to see here later. But that's just a picture of the first cannon, and in the next picture we're going to show how we painted them. Simple 99-cent black aerosol can with a little bit of Krylon orange, just to make it look a little rusty. And then this is our final product. You can see the cannons there. This is daytime. I have the LED lights in it. A little bit of smoke coming out from the fog. This was really windy right here, so it was really, really hard to grasp a good sense of what was going on. But at nighttime, it was so much better. I also was trying to get the fog machines to not be offset like that. I want them to be together on the timers, and I just still have to work on that. I got to work on the timers. But overall, the project came out really well. I'm really happy the way that came out, and I think these cannons give it a heck of a lot of character. And I learned a lot from this project. I learned that it's difficult to film, and it's difficult to try to do tutorials. And I also learned that patience is virtue, especially in the business of haunting. You got to have patience to be able to ensure that everything you're doing is you know, weatherproof and windproof and waterproof and everything like that. So you just need to make sure you take your time and that you're doing everything right. I really hope you guys like what you see, and if you do, please subscribe and come along with me. It's going to be an exciting year. This is just chapter 1, and there's more to come. See you later.